On Mountain News this morning, a memorial in Floyd County was defaced during the weekend. And with the winter weather we experienced, many schools called off. We'll tell you what goes into those decisions.
Dedicated to Eastern and Southern Kentucky, this is WYMT Mountain News This Morning.
Good morning, I'm Caroline Mueller. It is Tuesday, December 9th, and the time is now 6:31. Let's go ahead and check in with meteorologist Megan Desmel for a look at your forecast this morning. Megan, I think you know you're getting old when you add to your Christmas list gloves. I was literally researching gloves yesterday to put on my Christmas list, and I did, and I'm excited, and I really hope I get them. So,
see, yeah, I did not put gloves on my Christmas list, but
you probably
I did
already
put
have
pots
some.
and pans.
I've had some, but I needed touchscreen ones because if I'm out, recording stuff, touching that freezing cold tripod, I still need to be using my phone, touching things on the camera, and so it's a necessity at this point. And so hoping Santa brings me some new touchscreen gloves this year for Christmas.
I'm hoping for that for you as well. And for everybody watching this morning, wearing the gloves will be appropriate for this chilly temperatures that we're seeing, mostly those upper 20s and low 30s. We still have some cooling to go before that sun does rise in the morning. But by the time we head into the afternoon, we will see a mixture of the 40s, primarily the low 40s as you travel more towards the north, and the mid 40s as you travel more to the south. We are seeing a little bit of clouds this morning, but by the time we head into the afternoon, we'll see a little bit of that sunshine. More clouds are on the way, though, as we head overnight. The main reason we're under that first alert weather day is we do have some black ice spots, especially in our Virginia and West Virginia counties, and we're going to see those gusty winds picking up tonight. Caroline.
Thanks, Megan. 2 people are walking away after a serious crash yesterday in Mercer County. It happened on Highway 127 just south of Harrodsburg. Police say an SUV ran off the road and overturned in a ditch. They say neighbors in the area rushed out after hearing the impact.
Could have been a lot worse, especially with the rollover if they weren't buckled in. It was completely upside down.
Deputies say the SUV involved in the crash was totaled. And it's unclear if weather played a role in a serious crash yesterday afternoon in Perry County. The Hazard Fire Department and other agencies responded to a 2-vehicle rollover crash on Highway 15 in Glomore. 3 people were taken to Hazard ARH. Their conditions are not known. A memorial in Floyd County was defaced during the weekend, and law enforcement officers are asking for the community's help to find who's responsible. A mural was painted in the Allen community more than 1 year ago to honor the officers who were killed as a result of the 2022 Allen ambush. Sunday, reports came in that the mural had been vandalized. Sheriff John Hunt says someone painted X's over the eyes of Jacob Chaffins, Ralph Frazier, William Petrie, and K9 Drago, sending a wave of anger and hurt through the department and the Allen community.
That was strictly a community effort there to put that up. The owner of the building, Benny Lafferty, wanted to do something. He owns that property there, and that day still means a lot to that community. It's them who contacted us last night that was upset about it, very upset, and they, as much as we, want to find the culprit.
Anyone with information about the vandalism is asked to contact the Sheriff's Department. Anonymous calls can be made to 606-949-2020, and text can be sent to 606-477-8477. A Johnson County man is in jail after he was accused of assaulting a woman. State police were called to a home in Martin County last Friday after a woman was dropped off there. She told police Ronnie Mullet had slashed her wrist with a machete. Police eventually went to Mullet's home and asked him what happened. Mullet told police he and the victim had been arguing. Mullet was taken to the Big Sandy Regional Detention Center. One Pike County man was arrested after police say he was trafficking drugs. State police took Frankie Myers into custody last Friday. It happened when troopers were called to a home in Belfry, where they were told Myers reportedly had drugs and firearms. Police say they were doing a routine home visit and then searched Myers' camper after he gave them permission. Police found what they thought was meth, fentanyl, heroin, and a rifle. We're learning more about how Kentucky Fish and Wildlife is monitoring a deadly disease found in deer. On Friday, they added 9 counties in southern Kentucky to the watch list for chronic wasting disease, or CWD. They made the change because a deer with the disease was found in Pulaski County back in September. CWD is spread from animal to animal through bodily fluids and impacts their brains. Yesterday, we asked Fish and Wildlife what exactly it does to deer or elk.
Stuff's not working upstairs, right? The brain's not functioning right. They lose their fear of humans. They become emaciated. They will kind of walk in circles and drool, and I mean, they're just kind of a rough shape. But again, there's multiple things that could be. So there's not really a way just by looking, and you can tell if an animal has CWD or not.
There's no evidence to suggest that humans can catch chronic wasting disease. If you think you found a deer with the disease, call Fish and Wildlife or leave a sample of it at a drop-off site. As Kentucky marks Winter Weather Preparedness Week, emergency managers and the National Weather Service say now is the time to get ready. I have more on how you can be prepared before the next round of winter weather. With snow already falling throughout eastern Kentucky, emergency management officials say their winter work is well underway.
First and foremost is, we constantly monitor the weather. Any advisories, watches, warnings, those type things, we try to get the messaging out.
Pike County Emergency Management Director Nee Jackson says they work closely with road crews, schools, and hospitals, while families focus on simple steps at home and on the road. That includes a basic car kit and safe heating inside.
If you're using space heaters or something of that nature, that you keep 3 feet in between those radiant heaters and any beds, furniture, anything of that nature.
If the power goes out, he says generators can be lifesavers, but only when used safely.
If you don't have a generator that automatically has a transfer switch that kicks on, if you're using a gasoline-powered generator, once again, that it's in a well-ventilated area, not inside the house. You don't get that exhaust coming back into the home. And also make sure that when you do that, that you have the main breaker kicked, so when you fire that generator up, that it doesn't backfeed.
On the forecast side, the National Weather Service expects a steady stream of systems this winter.
Based on last year, I'm just going to say it's probably going to be a lot of small events to medium-sized events, and it's going to be busy.
NWS meteorologist Jane Marie Wicks says Preparedness Week is all about having a plan and staying aware as conditions change.
If I could give you one piece of advice, is to make sure you know what the forecast is doing. Make sure you have a way to get the forecast. Make sure you have a way to get the warnings, because if you don't know the forecast, you cannot prepare accordingly.
Both say starting prep now, even just the basics, can go a long way this winter. Officials also recommend a NOAA weather radio for alerts if the power or internet goes out. For more winter safety resources, check out this story on our website, WYMT.com. The winter weather we experienced yesterday led to a lot of school districts calling off. But what exactly goes into those decisions to delay or cancel? Boyd County Schools Superintendent Bill Boblett says the decision to close or delay comes down to one thing: safety. Officials try to start determining a potential delay or closing the night before, but between 4:30 and 5 a.m., they are up looking at the roads.
In Boyd County, we have a lot of rural roads, and I was out on those this morning, and so was our transportation director, a couple other folks, and then I got out on 23 about 8:30 or 9, and it was, one lane basically.
The importance of making the right call is for the safety of bus drivers, students, and staff. Boblett says along with calling parents, the district also posts the latest information on their Facebook page. Yesterday morning at the state capitol, demonstrators were chanting, "Leave the heat on." The group is calling on Governor Andy Beshear to use his powers to keep the power on, asking him to put in a utility disconnection moratorium in place until the end of the winter through March. The group cites the recent government shutdown and the lack of statewide weather-related protections, plus the uncertainty around long-term federal funding of programs such as HUD, SNAP, and LIHEAP as their reasoning to want the governor to step in.
So I would argue that we are still in a state of emergency, right? The price of living keeps going up, inflation keeps going up.
There are 42 states that have some form of disconnection prevention policy during winter months. According to the Low-Income Home Energy Assistance Program, Kentucky does not have one for extreme weather. A center in Perry County will be a refuge for eastern Kentucky's free-roaming horses. During the summer, Breathitt County residents started voicing concerns about the horses after the fiscal court voted to remove the horses living on abandoned strip mines. Several horses were removed. The Lexington Herald later reports the Appalachian Horse Center is a new farm set to open in May 2026. In the future, the center in Leatherwood is expected to become an educational tool for folks to learn about horses.
And we're still looking at some cloudy conditions as you're beginning off your Tuesday. But as you go into the afternoon, the clouds will taper away. We'll be looking at some sunny skies for some folks before the clouds return tonight and the wind gusts pick up as you're heading into your Wednesday. But in terms of temperatures, today will be relatively pleasant in compared to what we have seen this month so far. Those temperatures will be in the mid 40s for most of the region. Now, in terms of what we're looking at throughout the day, cloudy skies to start off, temperatures in the upper 20s and low 30s as you're heading off to school and as you're heading home. Starting to see some breaks in those clouds, temperatures in the mid 40s. Caroline.
Thank you, Megan, and thank you for joining us. The time is now 6:42. Still to come on Mountain News this morning, film photography is making a comeback from the pros to amateur shooters. We have more on why some are going old school and signs the industry is paying attention.